If I sound a bit off, that's because I have a cold. I do apologise if I sound a bit nasally. 2023, a year of formatting, moral railways, and seemingly unending crap just happening because it felt like it. At the end of the year, I like to reflect on the stuff I've put out during that year and, well, tradition. If I counted the 3 America Sings videos as one project, this year felt a little heavy on model railway content. I did the maths, and there were 15 model videos to 19 other projects this year, making it so that there was a video on a toy train for every 1.27 other types of videos. But that category, other types of videos, contains every other piece of non-YouTube short content I have produced in 2023, from episodes of Those Great Locomotives to animations to videos about real railways. On the other hand, I have pretty much exhausted my locomotive collection in terms of content, so 2024 won't be the year of formatting model railways and seemingly unending crap just happening to Electric Boogaloo. There was another thing I've noticed this year, or rather the lack of it. I only made one wholly original animation this year. Well, one longer than a minute, anyway. Whilst Thoroughbred performed very well cumulatively, it wasn't very well done from a plot perspective. And I would like to emphasize more on plot in the next animation I put out, because at the end of the day it is just watching the trains go by, and I would like things to be a bit more cohesive. Now, the lack of plot in Thoroughbred is easily explained by the fact it was just an exercise in animating shots to non-vocal music. At least, non-vocal music which isn't related to Thomas the Tank Engine, although many commenters were pretty sure this locomotive in the animation was supposed to be Gordon the Big Engine. If you're wondering where those comments went, by the way, I delete such comments. I don't put work in my original creations just for you to think it's taking pages out of the Thomas books, come. Speaking of taking pages from others' work, now would be the best time to talk about TGL. If you are at all active on YouTube, you've perhaps seen this video pop up in your recommendations. Plagiarism and YouTube by HBomberGuy. A ripple effect of a video calling other creators out for copying the works of others caused people to say such things as "History YouTube has a plagiarism problem." And whilst I have a strong enough opinion on the subject in regards to my own content, one that isn't easily swayed by a creature as lowly as a fellow YouTuber, I must say I am unhappy with the replaceability of it all. For moral railway reviews, people usually go to more established YouTubers, so the only real differentiating comments I can make are usually in regards to my inexperience, or the fact that I, as a non-UK resident, can't get a hold of 00 gauge models that easily. With the history stuff, it has become very clear to me that people don't come for the person in the video, they come to have numbers thrown at them. Now, anyone can do that, to the point that a common criticism of such YouTubers is that they just read off Wikipedia or plagiarise a book or two. I'm sure Chris Eden Green, who has been doing this for a bit longer than I have, can tell you all about it. That is of course not to say that this applies to everyone. I think Chris Eden Green, Anthony Dawson and Hull History Nerd are probably fine in this regard, but someone like me, who really is just a guy in his loft surrounded by a few dozen books, should perhaps stay in his lane. A perfect example of this was the Great Northern video. I used 3 books to weave my story and make my arguments, but at the end of the day I'm basically a mouthpiece for Simon A.C. Martin. There is nothing you can gain from watching my video that you cannot gain from watching the talk he had with Railway Mania. Throughout that very same video I just used 2 or 3 photographs of the real locomotive because whilst there are other images out there, finding who holds the copyright to those images is more often than not right faff because people keep posting and reposting those pictures without credit, so I would have no idea who to email to ask for permission to use their material. That said, making railway history content is the box I've built for myself, so chances are slim I will pivot the channel again towards something else. Even if I did upload something else, say a video about the Skylanders franchise, wink wink, there are always going to be people who will be confused as to how I even dared not to cater to their specific wants. I've been doing YouTube for a bit now. I know how YouTube audiences think. Whilst a lot of them preach to the choir about how they watch for the creator, not necessarily a single type of content, numbers don't support that. The more your audience takes a liking to a certain format, the harder it is to branch out and explore other areas of your creativity. But at the same time, uploading said other areas of your creativity to different channels won't be met with the same level of reaction as on your main channel, if there is a reaction at all. I suppose what I mean to say is that both things falling on deaf ears, as well as it being seen but actively disliked, aren't very nice to experience. Actually, I could do a whole video on the subject of the disconnect between a creator and their audience, but that might just end up sounding like me whining about low viewer engagement, so for the time being I'm going to shelve that topic. On a more positive note, I did strive to make the latter half of this year a bit more scheduled where content is concerned. If you've been paying attention, since July I've uploaded one video every 10 days, missing out on one day if I recall correctly, with a few videos being early to coincide with holidays, or because I had just seen something and wanted to talk about it. Did this schedule feel in any way pleasant for you, the viewer? Or did you not notice at all and I planned so far ahead for nothing and I'm just a fool? Let me know in the comments. And with that, I bid 2023 farewell, although personally I wouldn't have minded if we just skipped this one and went straight into 2024 off the heels of 2022. But then 2019 was only 2 years ago, am I right, fellas? Anyway, have yourselves a lovely and wonderful time, be most excellent, and I hope to entertain you in 2024. Cheerio.